All right, what's up? We're back with the B team. So let's not get into the games yet. How was your weekend, Mike?
Long. It was long.
Garlic Fest, right?
Yeah, Festival of the Garlics. Long hours, but we made some money.
Yeah. Yep.
It was tough because I couldn't watch much football, so I didn't really have a choice. My manager knows. Shout out to you if you even will ever listen to this, but she indirectly reached out to me in an email like, hey, I know some of you guys do have off on the weekends, but we have to put you on because it's Garlic Fest, and I know I've been trying to work out your schedule and everything, but sometimes we just need you. And I'm like, fuck. So
she clearly is not a Mets fan.
No. She's funny enough a Steelers fan. So
brutal. But
I don't even want to get into them today.
All right, let's get into the games here.
Yeah,
let's get into the games. We're going to start with the Cowboys and the Steelers. The Cowboys won 20-17. Sunday Night Football. Dak Prescott continues to be a beast in primetime football. Continues to be a beast against the Steelers. Now 2-0 against the Steelers. Some would call it not even a rivalry anymore. So first thing I want to get into is how much of the blame for the Cowboys' performance do you put on Dak?
Like, again, I don't think there's that much blame. I think it's more so their win was big on Dak. I mean, Rico had a really good game, but I think Dak he shows that he's resilient, bro. If you look at his last 3 games, I mean, the Ravens game, the Ravens just took their foot off the pedal. Dak took advantage. I mean, they took the L, but they beat the Giants in New York, must win, got it done. And then playing in primetime in Pittsburgh, inclement weather, warnings.
Hour and a half
wait.
Game ends at like 1 o'clock in the morning.
I don't even, listen, this is a really tough game to judge because, yes, they did get the win, but, like, is it concerning that they were held to so little points throughout the whole game? Absolutely. But, I can't put everything on him because I thought he played well. He did have 2 picks. The one towards the end of the second half or the first half was ugly. I think that was just a CD and Dak miscommunication. But
yeah, and I'm not to cut you off, but the CD and Dak interaction after that play, when everyone's blowing up like, oh, like this is happening, they're all saying that CD's saying subpar throw, dead ass. I'm sorry. CD Lamb's been in the league long enough and been at Oklahoma and in the limelight long enough for all of us to know that his country ass is not saying subpar throw. He ain't saying that.
When people are saying that, I'm like, I don't know if he's saying that.
He's clearly saying jump ball, just throw it up, I got you for it.
Yes.
And that's what they got to do. Dak should have thrown the jump ball because I don't think anyone on that defense could have competed with CD.
I thought he should have thrown it towards the back end pylon. I think he wanted a back shoulder throw, kind of 50-50, but if he would have just put it, if he was throwing back pylon, it had to be perfect because Joey Porter or whoever was there, that was an easy pick for them. But listen, that happens. Again, at least it didn't happen fourth quarter, game on the line, because then this would be a whole different conversation. Second half, end of second half, whatever. I think the score was really close anyways. What was it, 9-6 at that point?
Yeah.
10-6. Yeah. So that's something they'll go through. But, hey, he came back, bro. And I think they showed fight. They showed fight with so little help that they have. No Brandon Cooks. I thought Tolbert had a good game, but McCarthy had some questionable calls all day. It was just an ugly game, man. But, like, this is on this team right here. This is on this team.
Yeah.
Everyone's starting to believe again. Again, what did I say? Your defense can only take you so far. Listen, they're still going to get wins, but they can only get you so many wins week in and week out. This game showed exactly why they need more on offense because they are what it's abysmal. Like, it's bad. It's not fun to watch. It was bad. It did not look good. Freiermuth, Tutty, I get it, but it's the offense that is limiting this team. The defense we know is there. Again, they lost last week to Sleepy Joe and the Colts. Gave up 27, 24, something like that. But they're not going to be able to do that week in and week out. So the offense needs to find ways to get Justin Fields to do a little bit more, shy away from the run game a little bit. I know that's your identity, which is good. It's getting you wins, but sometimes you just got to be a little bit more creative on offense with Arthur Smith. But hey, this is it. So now the Steelers are 3-2. So
0-2 in their last two.
0-2 in their last two.
And I just have to say, I want to finish up the Dak Prescott comment real quick because I agreed with everything you said. I think Dak deserves all the credit for this win.
Yeah.
Him and Rico season are here. I think that Rico played fantastic.
Absolutely.
He ran the ball hard. He actually ran through tackles this week. I think Mike McCarthy still sucks at play calling, but this team showed that they can still achieve the lofty goals that are set out ahead of them because, they played pretty shitty for most of the game.
Mm-hmm.
But when it mattered most, when they needed a touchdown, Dak Prescott drove him down the field, made the plays that he was supposed to make, and got him a touchdown on the final play of the game.
Yeah.
He's the reason why they even had a shot. I mean, Rico, I don't know why you're jumping into the end zone, but that fumble easily could have ended the game.
Shout
out to Dak Prescott for jumping on that ball.
Yeah.
Also, he set a record. First guy to throw 2 interceptions, same game, 2 different days.
That's
just want to get that out there.
Congratulations.
Record holder.
Congratulations.
But yeah, that last drive, I mean, if that's Mahomes, everyone's praising him.
Mm-hmm.
If that's Joe Burrow, everyone's praising him. Joe Montana, everyone's praising him.
Speaking
Aaron Rodgers,
facts,
everyone's praising him.
Speaking facts.
Dak Prescott goes out there, has a subpar game, bad game, and then comes out and throws a touchdown to win it at the end of the game, does what he needs to do to win the game. And we're sitting here talking about Dak Prescott on every major station, talking about how poor he played but still got the win, while there's guys like Josh Allen out there who threw for 30%, looked awful for 2 straight weeks, haven't heard a peep. All we see is his highlight reel.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy, the bar that this man is being held to, and he continues week after week to be praised by everyone else in the NFL. He continues week after week to find ways to win these games, be in these games, even when he has Mike McCarthy and Jerry Jones working against him. I mean, massive win to keep us up there with Washington because Washington looks really good right now. I believe they moved to 4-1. Am I right with that? 4-1. Cupcake schedule. They're going to have some tough games coming up.
Yep.
But yeah, also fuck Dan Orlovsky. I don't need to go in on that.
Oh, yeah. I watched that too. I heard.
He is soft. I refuse to listen to someone who sucked when he played. And yeah, that's all I have to say on it. I don't need to get into it. Everyone saw it. Stephen A. even was cheering for the Cowboys after that clip.
Yeah.
But back to the Steelers.
Yeah.
Back to the Steelers, because that's enough on the Cowboys. We all know what the Cowboys are. Best team in the league. Steelers. This whole style of offense is not sustainable. You can't keep showing up to games and basically saying to your offense, it's okay to score 14 points, to have 2 scores a game, because we're just going to keep trying to punt the ball down the field and make the other team drive 80 yards to score on our defense because we don't think they can. That's not sustainable. Your defense is going to be exhausted by the end of the year. You're going to start losing games. And I hate the people that are putting this on Justin Fields.
No,
it's not
at
Fields,
all, bro.
Because
he's come in there and he's actually done more than what they've wanted him to do. Yes, he's done exactly what they've wanted to do. But when you have guys like, okay, George Pickens, yeah, he's solidified, but
Mike,
who else after that?
Where are the weapons on offense? Where is the run game? Where is the O-line? The Cowboys had no one on their defense. All we had was corners and D-backs.
Mm-hmm.
We had no edge rushers.
Yeah.
And we were still getting to him. That O-line was abysmal. That offense was abysmal. Our defense should have been shredded. If you can't beat the Cowboys or at least put up 20-plus points at home on a crappy night, the weather is fitting for your style of game. It almost worked, but it didn't, which is bad on your part. How are you not able to win a game when the other team's best 2 defensive players are not on the field?
It's like
how?
Yeah,
Explain that to me.
No, I'm with you, man. 100%. I agree with you 100%. I think there are so many there are so many like offensive coordinators and coaches. If you look at all these teams that are 4-1, 5-0 right now, look at their style of offense. Look at their play calling and everything else. Cliff Kingsbury running an air raid spread type of offense where they're just slinging it down the field. They'll get their runs in, but it's a pass-heavy offense. The Kansas City Chiefs, unique, dynamic. Who even knows what kind of offense that is? I mean, West Coast style, just super, super complex. Those are the teams that are winning games right now. Those are the quarterbacks. That's the face of the league now. And Justin Fields can be that type of guy. but he's going to need protection. The Steelers have a lot of rookies on the O-line. They have some injuries. They just don't have the weapons, bro, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
I love Pickens. I think Pickens can be and is right now a very good player. The numbers haven't been there, but they can be if Arthur Smith just adapts to this type of offense that needs to be run. I get it. They have an identity, though. They want to run the ball, but look at the Jets, for example. I hate to bring them in, but Rodgers threw for like 52 times. They changed it up. The run game, exactly. The run game was not there. You tried getting it, like he switched because he knew that the run game wasn't working, but then there was no balance, bro, and that was the problem. And I think the Steelers they're in the same way, but they're opposite. They're just running so much where like they just don't have really much a passing game. Mm-hmm. So it's easy to predict in a way. Like if you have predictability on offense, your team is going to go 3-0. You're going to punt. You're going to get field goals, and you're not going to get in the end zone, dude. It's just the only time you're going to get in the end zone is when it's the end of the second quarter and defenses are just playing back, or end of the fourth quarter when they're up big and you're getting garbage time touchdowns. So. Are they on fraudulent watch right now? Possibly. I still think their defense is very good and is going to win them games, but how long is this going to last? Because again, we've talked about this. The second half of their schedule is hard. It is very difficult. So they're getting all their wins out now, which is good, as they should. But a winnable game against Dallas next week. I don't know who they have, but they got to keep winning somehow. They got to find ways. I get it. Again, you have an identity, but change it up a little bit. Find ways to get more guys involved, like George Pickens. Get him involved early. Use Freiermuth, if you can, as a security blanket for Justin Fields. And give Fields a ball, man. Let him cook a little bit. Why not?
I do think it's actually unfair of us to say, are they frauds, being that they are almost 500.
True.
So I think
they are 500.
They are right on par.
Yes, they are on par. Yeah, they are not exactly.
They play the Raiders next week as well at Vegas, so that should be actually a pretty good game.
Yeah, that should be a
pretty close game.
That should be an easy win, bro. An easy win. If they lose that game, fraud watch, 100%.
I mean, Gardner Minshew. We'll see.
I don't even think he's gonna start.
True.
Ain't no comment.
That's true.
Come on, what we got?
All right, moving on. Ravens defeat the Bengals in overtime. Shouldn't have, but they did. 41-38. Derrick Henry got his 100th career touchdown and his 10,000th yard or something in the game. I mean,
Hall of Famer.
The dude is unreal. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. I mean, this team is loaded. They are loaded.
But they're not, though, which is funny. They're not, though.
Let's start there, though.
All right, yeah, let's do it.
Because this was a big discussion across a lot of shows this week. Do you think Lamar can win his third MVP this year?
Oh, 100%. 100%. I think he's the best quarterback in the league right now. All this shit talk for the first 5 weeks of the season. Oh, Lamar's not good. Lamar is not accurate. Lamar can't throw. Patience, boys. Patience. There's so much season left. We have what? 12 games left? Something like that? 13 games? So we have a bunch of weeks left of football, man. Lamar, their record could be completely different if Likely gets his foot in. If they don't blow it to the Raiders, they could be 5-0 right now.
Oh, that play he had for Likely. I mean, there's only a few guys in the league that can make that. Mahomes is probably the only other one. That was ridiculous.
I just don't understand why he was deserving so much hate. Again, look at the Bears. There's so many teams that you can use as an example. Oh, okay, they are really shitty at the start, but week after week, they're figuring it out. It's going to take time. That's just how sports works. Look at me and the Mets. Same shit. But Lamar, again, I don't think they're as loaded as people think. Zay Flowers is their only receiver. Mark Andrews, okay, actually finally had a good game, but it's Derrick Henry and it's Lamar Jackson. You have two of those guys. Your offense is very simple. But Monken is making it balanced enough where defenses are really finding it hard to pick up on what they're doing because they got to, number one, contain the shit out of Lamar. Then they got to tackle Derrick Henry. When you're going for, let's say, 5 yards per carry and you're getting in 2nd and 5 situations, how do you stop them? How do you stop them? All they have to do, listen, Lamar threw for 4 touchdowns. That's not going to happen every single week. If anything, he's going to run for 2 and he's going to throw for 1 or 2. He's not going to throw for 4 tutties. It was a close game all in all. I give credit to the offense of Cincinnati too. Both defenses, I mean, that just goes to show that since he still has it, Their defense is just probably the worst in the league. But Lamar Jackson is still a top 5 quarterback. I'm tired of this shit, man. I'm tired of
top 5.
I'm gonna put right now. He could finish top 5 100% end of the year. I'm saying end of the year he'll be a top 5 quarterback, possibly even a top 3 quarterback. He's lethal. He's lethal. He's a weapon. He's got a chip on his shoulder. Everyone's coming at him. They don't have faith in him. I never hopped off the train. He's a beast. And him and Derrick Henry, they're finally getting along. They're figuring it out. He's going under center more, giving Henry the ball. You can't stop him. You can't stop that team. So he might not put the numbers up that we want him to, but he doesn't have to. He's got him. That was a good win for them.
No, I agree with you. So let's get on to the Bengals here because I think that's the biggest talking point from this game. Missed field goal at the end.
The pick by Burrow.
The pick by Burrow was ugly.
Tough.
Jamar Chase didn't even fight to get it out of there.
Yeah. Smart play, though.
Very weird situation going on in the Bengals film room this week, I would imagine. Who is to blame for this 1-4 start? Because I feel like you could go any which way with this.
The defense. They're the worst in the league. How many points have they allowed in the last 5 weeks?
They're awful.
They're terrible. They are terrible. I think Zach Taylor gets a little bit of blame, but the offense is doing its job. They're making Chase Brown look like a fucking stud.
Yeah.
Their O-line looks good. Listen, they put up 38 points, should have won the game. Joe Burrow, 5 touchdowns. 5 touchdowns. He went berserk, almost threw for 400 yards. I can't watch this offense put the blame on them. There's no way. Jamar Chase had 2 touchdowns. T. Higgins looked good. Their tight ends look good. I mean, I can't blame them. It's on the defense. The defense just cannot show up at all. They lost so many pieces, and they just seem to not figure it out, which is why that offense just needs to go crazy. That offense is the only hope for that team to potentially even make the playoffs.
Joe Burrow was the best football player on the field.
Oh, no, it's not even close.
He was the best football player on the field this week. And
honestly,
on
the Bengals.
On the Bengals. Yeah. And like you look at this game and it's like week after week we're seeing just reruns of the same thing. You know, the Bengals come out, Joe Burrow looks great, the offense looks really good, and they lose. They put themselves in a position to win and they lose. And I don't think that this is an offense thing, but is there any part of you that believes Jamar Chase affected this start to the season?
A little bit. I also think T. Higgins, I can't put it on him either, but the wide receiver group, like T. Higgins being hurt, obviously he wasn't coming around. But I think Burrow was still doing what he had to do, even without his receivers. Jamar was he played week 1, didn't do anything. He wasn't really showing up to training camp. He was, but in street clothes and not practicing, not training. So, it's going to put a burden on anybody, man. Yeah. Like, any guy that holds out is not really going to do well. I mean, CD held out, but he was at least training and back on the field with Dak. So that's going to hurt. But listen, their chemistry goes back to college. That shit's not going to disappear. That's only going to get better and stronger throughout time. But I have no issues on the defense. Yes, they're 1-4.
The offense.
Yes, the offense.
I was going to say, if you don't have any issues on the defense,
cancel the show.
Yeah.
But yes, they're 1-4. But they looked great on offense, and that's not an easy defense to face either. In Baltimore Ravens, that's a top defense. So the fact that you're putting 38 on them, I don't see the blame. I don't see how you can blame him. I can't.
Yeah, no, I agree. Very subpar team. Very subpar throws.
Yeah,
or defense.
Below subpar.
Below subpar defense.
Strongly below subpar.
All right. Moving on, Mike. Do you want me to go first? Or do you want to go first?
You go first.
You want me to go first? All right, so the Jets lose.
I'm going to lose my shit.
23-17 to the Vikings in the UK. I mean, I hate to say I warned you, but Aaron Rodgers is old. We knew he was going to be sleepy. He was jet lagged from this trip going over there. I mean, we had to see this coming. In all seriousness now. In all seriousness, I'll actually give a serious analysis real quick. All right. This team lives at 3rd and long. You cannot play a full football game at 3rd and long, especially against a great defense in Minnesota where their DC, I mean, shout out to Christian Olsen, their DC quite possibly should be up for Coach of the Year because he's doing a magnificent job over there.
He should be a coach again. He will get another opportunity.
On top of that, Rodgers was getting hit. He's getting hit constantly and hard. I mean, there's the video of him crawling, which was hard to watch.
Yeah, Fortnite player. 3
interceptions on top of that. It's the one was brutally bad. It was similar to the one Dak threw, and it's tough to watch this team right now because the offense should be so good. It should be so good. The weapons they have, the defense is great, and I'm just a little bit confused with this whole organization and this team because, okay, you bring in Sam Darnold. Oh, it was Sam Darnold. You bring in Zach Wilson. Oh, it was Zach Wilson. And now we bring in the guy who people call the GOAT and all this stuff. He's supposed to be the best in his position. He's supposed to be the best of all time. He comes in. Is it his fault now?
You know how much?
Is it his fault? Because it's such crap that the Jets fans give so much hate to their quarterbacks over the years when now you finally have a guy who's in the GOAT conversation and it's the same shit, different day. And it pisses me off because it's like, all right, what's your new slant? I want to hear the new slant as to why this team can't win. Is it a coaching thing? Is it an ownership thing? Because the coaches have continued to switch as well. And it's the same thing over and over and over again. So there's only one more person that you can go to. There's only one. No, I'm not saying coaching. There's only one more person you can blame because if it's not the defense, if it's not the quarterback, because the quarterback clearly doesn't matter. The team sucks at offense, even with a GOAT quarterback. The team's still going to suck no matter who the coach is, it seems like.
Me and Gassy have been saying it for a while.
Who is to blame?
Nathaniel Hackett and Robert Saleh.
No, but it's not the coaching either because the coaches consistently change. You've consistently changed coaches, and it's the same result over and over and over and over again. So how many times are we going to go through this where we blame the quarterback, we blame the coaches, we blame the quarterback, we blame the coaches, and it's the circle of life. You think my circle, my triangle cycle is bad? Your cycle is bad.
Oh, dude, I know.
We will win.
I know. You act like I don't know this, bro.
It pisses me off more being a Jets bandwagoner than being a Cowboys fan sometimes because the Jets, it's like, all right, I just recently joined the bandwagon with you so I could cheer with you and live and die by this green thing with you. The quarterbacks, you could have had Tom Brady for the last 20 years, and I guarantee you this team still would be in the same position.
Well, Joe Namath needs to get executed.
I think it's everyone above. I think it's everyone above in their ability to find people.
It's the gods?
Find people to play football. I think that, who's your owner?
Woody Johnson.
Yeah. Send that fucker to jail because he has to be the problem because no one else is the problem. You get coaches in there and all of a sudden they can't coach. You get quarterbacks in there, all of a sudden they can't play quarterback. This team is cursed, and I think it has something to do with him.
Thank you for saying that, by the way, because I know you're a cursed believer, and there are a couple cursed teams out there, and the Jets are like
I warned you when Taylor Swift went there and he went to the concert.
Yep.
I warned you.
Just ugly, bro. Just ugly. Go get Devontae Adams. If we're all in, because that's exactly what we did with Rodgers, which, by the way, you know how much shit I got for that? For saying, oh, I don't want Rodgers. Give me Derek Carr or Lamar and not give him the bag and not do this. And then everyone's like, oh, but you guys never had a quarterback, blah, blah, blah. This is exactly what you see, exactly why I said it.
Derek Carr clearly would have been the same thing.
No, that's cold take. But Lamar Jackson would have been great. We're going the Colts route back in like the 2016 to the 2019 era where they went from like Matt Ryan to Phillip Rivers to Carson Wentz, just these old guys and now they have Sleepy Joe. But I was playing great again. It's just so funny because every time Rodgers does something, I immediately resort to like, oh, maybe if he was in Egypt or maybe if he wouldn't have a fucking podcast, he wouldn't have done that. I will forever stand by that bullshit. He's a pussy for that. But Lazard, 3 drops. Crucial drops, Lazard. God damn, you got go get Devontae Adams. If you're all in, which of course everyone in the league and every fan in the world knows that you are because you went for a 40-year-old quarterback who is a DMT fucking enthusiast, ayahuasca motherfucker. Shout out to you, I guess. But there's no run game. There's no pass game. Garrett Wilson finally snapped. We need to do that every time. There is nothing with this team. Nothing. Nathaniel Hackett. What are you doing? Where's the run game? Where's the run game? Where are we going here? Where was your creativity when we played the New England Patriots on Thursday night where we looked flawless? Granted, they're the worst team in the league, but why can't we pick those things up and post them and play like that against the Minnesota Vikings, which was a winnable game, by the way? Sauce Gardner, love the man. Love the man. I think he's a great cornerback. Needs to stop being so handsy. That's a big problem by him. He got away with it the last 2 years. He needs to chill with that. A lot of defensive penalties that killed us that game. Put us back. 3rd and long. We get a stop. Flag. First down again.
He's got a touch of the Watson.
But again, they did fine, bro. Like, you can't be putting up 17 points, bro. That's not good. 2 touchdowns and a field goal. You can't get 2 touchdowns a game. Not with that offense. Mike Williams, why don't we use him more? We gave him the bag. He's looked phenomenal. Garrett Wilson, they put him in the backfield for once. Mm-hmm. They put him in the backfield and they threw it to him. Week. They finally did it. Where is this? I think what they need to do for the future now, and I don't even want to talk about the future because it's going to be a disaster because they have so many people to sign, but I can't give Rodgers all the blame. He looked iffy. Yes, he did. He had bad picks. Ginkle picked him off for a pick 6. But listen, the short game can only work for so long. Why don't we air it deep? Where is that? We're not making throws deep. Breece Hall has been a non-factor these last 3 weeks. Like, the offense is it always will be the problem, bro. And the more times we hire defensive coaches, I love Saleh as a person. I just don't think he has the X and O brain that all these other coaches do in the league. He's going to be gone at some point. I think the players are there, bro. I think if we get a guy like Devontae, I think the O-line got blown up a little bit, but we couldn't run the ball. Lazard was making drops. Conklin was nowhere to be found yet again. Like, it's just the same old fucking Jets. It's the same shit every single week. And all of these back throws that Rodgers is trying to do, nobody's on the same page as you, bro. Nobody. Mike Williams, Garrett Wilson, Gibson, Lazard. These shoulder throws are just not working, bro. The last part of the game, they're driving. They could win the game right now. Back shoulder throw to Mike Williams, so super fast. Gilmore's just there. Mike Williams looked like the cornerback and Gilmore looked like the receiver on that play. Easy pick, game over. That's a winnable game, bro. Listen, it's a problem that they need to fix real quick because there are jobs on the line, and Aaron Rodgers, there's only going to be more headlines coming out. This is what I said, bro. I said it, and I was an unpopular opinion. Lucas told me to, and I'm like, this is what we signed up for. This is what we're exactly getting. It is what it is, but you got to make a change, and you got to go get Devontae Adams. If you're all in, you get him. It's going to take $12 million on your cap hit. You already have $22, $23 million in cap space. Why not? What's holding you back besides your future guys who you're going to pay? Pay him now. We need him. If Lazard's our wide receiver 2, supposedly, and is dropping balls that he should be caught, Devontae Adams can help that team. And they need to because, listen, they beat the Bills next week. They're in first place. Mm-hmm. They're in first place. This season's not over. We just need to figure it the fuck out. Mm-hmm. That's the issue. Get Devontae, bring him in, pay Hassan whatever we want, and let's get this shit really going because right now we are Jerry Jones, all in, right? The Jets are all in. No, we're not. Why haven't you signed Reddick yet? If we're so all in and let our young guys fucking take over and we'll ship them off. Or you get a guy who now requested a trade and they want a second round pick for him and you have to take over his contract. Why not? You want to win the Super Bowl. You want to keep your job. Robert Saleh, Nathaniel Hackett, Joe Douglas. I'm even throwing Joe Douglas in there, and I think he's going to stay. But hey, that's what they have to do. It's on the coaching. It's 100% on Hackett. I'm tired of signing these defensive coaches. We need to go offense. I love Saleh, but he'll get another opportunity. Make him a DC or something. But we need to get a guy like Ben Johnson, a guy like Cliff Kingsbury, someone who's going to change this offense because the defense is there. Let Ulbrich take over. That's it. That's all I got to say. But the defense shot themselves in the foot, man. Missed tackles. The PIs were so bad, bro. So bad. But, hey, I mean, Garrett looked good, man. We got him. I like that we saw that. Shout to the over on that. He had like almost 20 targets. Mm-hmm. But you got to keep Breece involved, man. I know you like this Braylon Allen kid, and I do too. Every Jets fan does. But you got to think about the reason why our run game was so good in the past. Our O-line was blocking, and Breece Hall was a stud. You got to get him more involved.
Absolutely.
Very simple.
Yeah, so big game on Monday Night Football. Jets and the Bills at MetLife Stadium.
Give me the
That's
Jets.
going to be a great game, hopefully. Hopefully it's not the beginning of the end of Rodgers. All right, let's move on here.
Yep.
Before we punch holes in walls. Washington moves to 4-1 after defeating the stinky Browns 34-13. Mike, we were wrong.
Oh, yeah.
We were wrong.
Hand up. Was wrong.
Nope.
Deshaun Watson sucks.
Yeah. I did not think you were going to go there. He doesn't just suck. He is terrible.
You know what?
He is terrible. I believe Stephen A. Smith said that he would be okay if someone said that Deshaun Watson was being sent to jail for sucking so bad. He said that he would go there and he would support it because he was so bad. Like, this man, and I mean, it later came out that they had too many men in the huddle. There was going to be a penalty regardless. But he just walked off the field with no explanation on 4th down when Stefanski clearly wanted to go for it. And, like, the Browns, they might, I mean, what is it here? I have it. $230 million problem. That's what they have.
Worst contract, worse than Russell Wilson. I was going to say that. The worst contract transaction in history of the NFL.
Here's the best part.
Jameis Winston's their backup.
Well, yeah, he should be playing.
Yep.
That's the best part.
It's time.
He had a QBR of 8.4.
Yeah.
8.4, okay? When's the last time you saw something that low? I can tell you when. Week 1 when he had a QBR of 8.3 against the Cowboys. It is crazy. It's insane. I cannot believe that this man is still in the job of being a starting quarterback in the NFL. In the NFL. Not the CFL. Not the UFL. The NFL. With an 8.3 and an 8.6 on his QBR stat sheet. That is disgusting. Sorry, 8.4. I don't want to give him.
Nick Chubb ain't saving shit.
He's been sacked 26 times through 5 games.
Yeah,
he refuses to run. When he does run, he stays in bounds, gets hit, and gets angry. I mean, I genuinely don't know who has the bigger problem. I think the Jags don't have as big a problem as we think at quarterback.
No.
I think the Browns clearly have the bigger problem. But I don't think that Deshaun Watson's teammates even like him.
No, it's.
I don't think
it's a bad locker room there. It's a really bad locker room because what do you think when you look at that guy? You either think pedophile or you think a shitty quarterback. Like, there is no, I believe in this guy. I believe in this. Let's be real here, man. You're now 1-4, and
he needs to dip out of the league.
They need to start Jameis, and they need to change it up because their season is really spiraling out of control. They suck, dude. But they're banged up bad on the O-line. They're losing a lot of guys. But Nick Chubb should be coming back. That's not going to help anything. I don't even think their weapons are that bad, which is why we were so high on them, bro. They have Amari Cooper, wide receiver 1, Eli Moore, wide receiver 3, Jerry Jeudy, potentially a wide receiver 2 if he gets out of his funk. I mean, I just don't see. I think it's all on him, bro. It's just terrible quarterback play. They don't really have a run game. The defense is trying to do everything they can, but this is definitely not looking good for them. It's more so just Washington being a fucking powerhouse.
Which I want to bring
powerhouse.
I want to bring this up because
they're fun, man.
Everyone is loving Washington. They're loving what's going on there.
Oh, I'm all in on it, bro.
They're loving Scary. They're loving Robinson. They're loving the defense. They're loving everything.
I'm loving it.
Loving life.
Yeah, that's fun. They're a fun team.
I'm gonna bring something up here. All right.
Not an overreaction.
It's going to make you think.
Not an overreaction.
Not an overreaction. Are the Washington Commanders real, or are they the 2023 Eagles all over again?
Real.
Because I think they're the 2023 Eagles. I think it's only a matter of time before Jaden Daniels. I mean, I like the kid. I think he's going to win Rookie of the Year.
Real.
But let me show you something.
It's time, bro.
They're going to the Ravens this week. Okay? Then they have 2 easy games. They got Panthers and Bears. The Bears game, I think, is going to be hyped up a lot more than people think. And I think the Bears are actually going to win that game.
Me too.
Because Caleb is going to have something to prove.
He's looked great.
He's going to have a chip on
and that
his
whole
shoulder.
team has looked great.
And then after that, all right, so let's say they go 1-2 there. They beat the Panthers. After that, you have division games. You have the Steelers, who I think they'll beat. I think the Steelers are god awful unless they make a change at quarterback because I'll be all in on Russell Wilson.
Danger
I'll
Russ,
be back in.
Mr. Unlimited.
And then they go at the Saints, who will need wins towards the end of the year in that division. They play the Falcons, who are going to need wins at the end of the year in that division. They're not going to be sitting anybody. And you got 2 games against the Cowboys and 2 games against the Eagles. I think he's going to have a very big welcome to the league down this later stretch. I do, Mike.
I could see it happening, but I'm all in.
I'm going to come back to this moment. I'm fine with that because I'm all in. I am all in on Jaden Daniels.
Yes.
I'm not all in on the team. That's where I'm at right now.
I think if they keep playing well and they're looking at each other in the locker room like, yo, like we're 5-1, we're 6-1, we're not a fluke. This is real. Our guy is the guy. We're playing our fucking asses off right now. We can win this division. Eagles said that, yeah, but their coach is a fucking lunatic, and Jalen Hurts isn't.
Eagles also said that too.
But like, okay, but that's like saying that Jalen.
No. I mean, like they said that their coach is a lunatic. Talking about Sirianni.
Yeah, but
the Eagles said that too.
Okay, because they are lunatics.
Yeah.
Sorry, hand up. But I think Jaden Daniels on this path right now. You can see the difference between him and Hurts. It's not a comparison. I'm looking at the team overall. How do you stop them? How? B-Rob, Eckler, fucking McLaurin, De'Ami Brown, Zach Ertz. They're scheming the shit out of teams. He is a rich man's Kyler Murray. He's better than Kyler, bro. He's one of the best in the league right now.
That is so disrespectful to Jaden Daniels.
Well, Kyler Murray's a poor man's Jaden Daniel, by the way. So
I think that's even more disrespectful.
Not at all. Daniels. I think Jaden Daniels is a stud.
Jaden Daniels, if anything, is a rich man's Patrick Mahomes.
Ooh, I like that. When I watch him, I see a lot of Kyler Murray though. Like the way he goes, I compare him to Kyler, just a much better version. But I'm all in on this team,
he's more
bro.
like a rich man's RG3.
Oh, don't say that. Commanders fans are gonna go crazy. Get that pen out of my hand. But they're winning the game. Like they are the shock of the league right now, and I'm all in with it, man. I love what he's done, his accuracy, his mobility, man, his pocket presence. I mean, everyone's just built into this shit, dude. Are they gonna have some little bumps in the road? Yeah, they will. They might have a little 2-game stretch of L's, but I'm not gonna pull the panic button on this team because they're good, man. They have something to play for now, bro. Well, like again, it doesn't even have to be about the numbers at this point. They just know inside the locker room that they can win, bro. The Eagles aren't the Eagles anymore. The Cowboys have a lot of holes, but like they could win it. They could definitely win it, 100%. I'm all in on him. I think he's gonna be the future. They got their guy. I don't think it's a fluke at all. I don't want it to be a fluke, man. Washington. We talk about cursed teams. We talk about teams that's been in the shitter for how many years? How many decades? The Browns, the Detroit Lions, the New York fucking Jets. The Washington Commanders, they haven't been good since 80s, 90s.
Well,
like
what?
If we're okay, what do we got? 1 year of RG3?
There was multiple years.
What? Who?
There was like 3 years where they were like pressing
for a Super Bowl.
The division. Not the Super Bowl.
But I'd say for a playoff.
Most teams don't push for a Super Bowl. There's like 4 teams every year that could push for a Super Bowl.
I can't remember the last time I have thought about a team. Oh, Washington Commanders in 2016, man, they were good. Who the fuck ever thinks about the Washington Commanders like that?
Well,
nobody.
No, because the Washington Commanders have never been in that position.
Washington football team, Washington Commanders, Washington Redskins, whatever you want to call it.
Whoa.
Bring the Redskins back, by the way. I'm sold on them. I keep fading them. I don't care. I'm sold on it. I keep fading them for a reason. I'm sold. I love Jaden Daniels. If you have him in any Dynasty League, Fantasy League, congratulations. You are doing great. Good for you. They're scary, bro. I mean, listen, when they play you guys play them twice. The Eagles play them twice. Like
I'm not.
That's not a win. An easy win for any team.
I don't want it to get mixed up here. All right. I'm not saying they are a bad football team by any means. I think they're a very good football team. I'm just saying that he has played against the Bucs, who kept him to 20 points and beat him by 17 in week 1.
Week 1.
That was an opening game.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Week 2, the same.
He beat the Giants.
Yeah. Week 2, all field goals.
We beat the Giants.
But what did I say before?
Beat the Bengals when they were playing like shit. Beat the Cardinals. That was a big win.
Dude.
Beat the Browns. The Browns are terrible. All I'm saying is,
you're telling me the Bengals win, it wasn't a big win. That was a massive fucking win, bro.
No,
they had Jamar Chase playing in Cincy.
I'm not saying that it wasn't a massive win, but look at what we just talked about 20 minutes ago. That defense is horrendous. So I don't care what's on the offensive side because the Bengals clearly can't keep points off the board. So if they don't put up 40 points, which it's extremely hard in the NFL to do, they're not going to win games anyways. So I have a hard time believing that Bengals game, big win. I'm taking that with a grain of salt. Come back to me in this stretch where they go at the Giants, at MetLife. They play the Steelers in that defense. They play the Eagles because the Eagles are going to come back. I'm sorry. I know we always talk crap on them.
They will.
But the Eagles are going to come back this week. They're going to get a huge win versus the Browns because the Browns are dead. They're actually favored at 6.5. The Eagles are. And then they go Cowboys. They'll beat the Titans. They're going to lose to the Saints. Then they got the Eagles, Falcons, Cowboys to end the year. I'm not ready to say that the Washington Commanders are a top team that we should all be scared of because, listen, we've seen this before with rookie quarterbacks. They come in, they have great years. Eventually, they hit a little bump. There's very few Brock Purdy's.
For sure.
There's very few Brock Purdy's. And we're going to see that. Caleb's going to have that eventually. He's going to lose 4 in a row. Jaden Daniels, 4 in a row wins, not like that doesn't happen a lot in the NFL. I think there's going to be a stretch.
It's going to happen. Yeah, like I said.
He's going to get tired. He's going to have something happen. He's going to start overthinking. He's going to,
I just think that I've seen enough.
I'm not ready. I've seen enough of Jaden Daniels to believe in him. I haven't seen enough of this team playing against good quality defenses to say that I'm ready to go all in. Good quality teams to say I'm going to go all in. Because, all right, this week against the Ravens.
I'm trying to beat the curve, bro.
Let's show up.
That's a tough game.
Panthers, you should win.
That
the Bears,
should be a win.
You should win.
That's a tough game.
Based on what everyone's saying, Bears, you should win. The Giants, you should win.
Yes.
The Steelers, Eagles, Cowboys, that's where I'm really going to figure out if I'm all in on this team. Because if you come out of that stretch, Steelers, Eagles, Cowboys at 2-1, fair. I'll back off.
The divisional games are going to be tough.
It's all good.
I mean,
yeah, but
any of those games go anyway because that's they're all coin tosses.
Listen,
all
Mike, we can say that all we want. The Cowboys have owned that division. The Eagles have owned that division. Right?
Times have changed.
The Giants and Washington, have they? We don't know yet. The Washington and the Giants, listen, if you guys want to come join the conversation, by all means, come join the conversation. Washington, you've joined the conversation. But when those games come up, don't fold.
Yeah.
Don't fold.
With you.
When you play the Eagles and the Cowboys, those 4 games down the stretch, you better show up. You better not get blown out.
Can't get swept. You cannot get swept.
4-0.
No.
That's all I have to say on Washington because Washington Commanders fans are getting real loud.
Are they? Do they even have fans?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
There's plenty. When you're a Cowboys fan, you know who they are.
Yeah.
And Washington, let's be careful.
Just gotta let them enjoy it, man. They're a team. You just gotta let them enjoy their moments.
Enjoy your moments.
Yes.
But when the going gets tough, don't say that. Oh, it's a rebuilding. We have a rookie quarterback. I don't want to hear that because right now you're 4-1.
They can make a push,
and you guys are saying that you're one of the best teams in the NFL.
You think they're a playoff team?
You're top 4, but
you think they're a playoff team?
Yeah, they're going to get in.
That's perfect.
I
That's all you need to do.
The Eagles or the Cowboys won't get in.
They don't listen. If the Washington Commanders don't get into the playoffs, then you're right. I think they definitely secure a playoff spot. 100%. The only division that's going to fuck it up is the NFC North and Atlanta or Tampa Bay. So you got 3 spots. You could be one of them. You could be one of them.
We'll see. Speaking of that division, let's get into it. Falcons and the Bucs. Falcons won 36-30 on a Young Ho Koo night.
Yeah, bad.
We're gonna skip over that. I know it affected you greatly.
Oh man.
Now 0-10 on the Immortals, but that's okay.
Yeah. We don't have to skip it. I mean, it was a good game.
So I know we all thought the Falcons coming into the season were going to be good, right? We all thought.
Yeah, 100%.
But they came into this and,
they got handed that win, bro.
Well, let's relax.
They did.
Okay, so they're now 3-2. They've looked okay.
Better, much better.
Okay. Was this their coming out party to show everyone what they're capable of? Because I think that this Bucs team is very good.
Me too.
What the Falcons offense did to them was borderline assault.
Absolutely, bro.
506 yards, I believe. Is that correct? 509 yards. 509
for Kirk. Yeah, he went crazy.
Unreal.
But that game should not have gone to overtime. It should have been a Falcons win by a point or a Bucs win, game over. Because They had 2 opportunities to just close out the game. Bucky Irvin fumbles. They get the ball back. They stop him on 4th. They get the ball back. The Bucs go 4 and out. They went from 1st and 10 to like 4 and 18. Punt the ball, give an opportunity. They score. Goes to overtime. They win the game. Bucky Irvin secures that fumble. The game's over. I get a fucking win on my fucking sheet for once. Bad. Just bad. I love Bucky Irvin. I think he's a great player. But just bad game management at the end,
Didn't
bro.
you just pick him up on fantasy too?
I traded for him, yeah.
Yeah, that's brutal. That was a brutal week to start.
Well, I knew I was getting worked by Simmons. Shout out to you, bro. I knew I was getting worked by him, bro. But I think that trade is gonna go a long way. I love Worthy. I always liked Xavier Worthy. But watching every single Chiefs game and watching how he's been used, I think he's a deep threat and he's going to be a gadget guy. He's not, if we're talking just strictly fantasy terms, I needed a running back. And I think Bucky, if he takes over that team, solidified RB1, like I need that, bro. I have receivers. I don't mind. But listen, the game's not on Baker. I think Baker has solidified himself as a top guy in the league. No doubt about it. He looked excellent. They had control of the game. The defense, again, just shit the bed. But you have to give – I think it was a good game all around for both teams. I think the defense just kind of sucked. But the Bucs had it. The Bucs had that game, and they should have won it. They kind of gifted the win to Atlanta. So it is what it is. Yeah. We got to move on. And they'll be fine. Tampa will be back. Tampa will be back. And so will the Falcons. I think Kirk is starting to look comfortable in that offense. The first week, he didn't. Second week, comeback win against the Falcons. But they've looked a lot better, man. Feed him Bijan like they should. Drake London and Kyle Pitts are finally getting – this is what we all wanted. This is what Falcons fans wanted. We wanted these guys to finally start making a difference receiving the ball. Darnell Mooney solidified our wide receiver too. Looks phenomenal. So you got to give him credit. Listen, they took Michael, but they signed Kirk, and they're in this position where they're over 500 and they can win the division. So good for them.
Yeah, huge wins now versus Saints and the Bucs early in the season, which is massive for them. Kind of takes a lot of pressure off them, assuming that they'll go 2-0 against the Panthers and stuff.
Yep.
All right, I'm just gonna run through.
Saints are frauds.
Run through a bunch of games real quick and just say the scores, and then we're gonna close out the show with, I believe you have your top 10 quarterbacks that we'll be doing every couple weeks, and then I'll share the new top 10 power rankings.
Yes, sir.
Team.
Yes,
all
sir.
right, so Texans 23, Bills 20, Dolphins 15, Patriots 10, Bears 36, Panthers 10. Cardinals 24, 49ers 23.
Big win.
Big win for me.
Great win for that team.
Packers 24, Rams 19. Another big win.
Good game.
Giants 29, Seahawks 20. That was a surprise.
Shout out to the Giants, bro. Danny Dimes.
He's cooking.
He's looked good.
He's cooking.
He's looked good.
All right. So, Mike, top 10 quarterbacks.
Yeah, let's go.
Top 10 quarterbacks. I'll hand the floor over to you.
Anything else?
I'm excited for this because I think that there's going to be some surprises. I just want everyone to know Mike was grinding. On this.
Yeah.
Absolutely, positively grinding.
Yeah, it was a hard 20 minutes of thinking and research, but I did change one. Actually, no, we're going to do something a little different here. For number 8, we're going to have 2 quarterbacks tied at 8 because you did the commander shit, which I think is funny. So I'm going to do something similar.
Yeah.
Because I just can't have him out of my top 10, but I'm inserting someone into my top 10 that deserves to be there. So I will start number 10. I'm going to give it to your boy. I'm going to give it to Dak, bro. I think Dak top 10 is fair, bro.
Thank you. He dropped 2 places from last time. But that's okay.
That's fine. I think he's still doing what he has to do with limited receivers, limited weapons. 2 touchdowns in the last 3 games. So he's thrown for 2 last 3 games. He just shows heart. I love the heart he's showing. I mean, we saw that. We saw the footage of him head down. You see the sweat just dripping off his nose. Comes back, beats the Steelers in Pittsburgh. 4th down conversion for a tutty. Game over. I really like the resilience I've seen from Dak, so I just have to throw him in there. Could be other people. Could be guys like Jared Goff, Jordan Love, whatever. Jared Goff hasn't really heated up yet. He did last game, but I can't throw him in there yet. Jordan Love just got off an injury.
Jordan Love's
wait
hot
for
and
more
cold, Katy
wins.
Perry.
Huh? I missed that. What'd you say?
Jordan Love's hot and cold, Katy Perry.
Yeah, he's Katy Perry. Agreed. But no, I think Dak at 10 is fair. Justin Fields, listen, love the guy. I can't put him as a top 10 quarterback right now. For fantasy, I get
can't
it.
believe
like,
he's even brought into the conversation.
I mean, look at his numbers for fantasy, bro. He's like sixth,
All right.
seventh,
Is this
eighth.
is this fantasy?
No, this is
Or
reality.
Okay.
This is reality.
Okay. Yep.
But that's why I was
all saw the game.
No, I didn't watch it either. So, but looking at that, I'm like,
Probably golfing.
No.
Go ahead.
But
number 9.
I gotta have Darnold still there too. Probably golfing too. I gotta have Darnold in there. So what? They're undefeated. And he looked good against New York. I thought he looked a little bit iffy, but he was getting injured a lot. He was getting hit. A lot of pressures on the O-line. Sam was getting hit a bunch. Still was making accurate throws. Still was making the right decisions. 11-4 touchdown interception ratio. And he's a fucking warrior, man. He's a warrior. He's battled through so much adversity throughout his career. And now he's finally here. He's found his home. JJ's learning. They are on the fucking upward trend. They're going to be great for the future. And I love that Sam Darnold has finally gotten his chance and has actually shown it. Like JJ, everyone was scared. Oh, we're not taking him. Blah blah blah. He's got Darnold. Sometimes you just got to take the BPA and hope for the best. And Sam Darnold has done exactly that, beating his former team in London. That's a tough defense to play. And he had one bad pick, but he's winning them games, bro.
5-0.
He's 5-0, bro. I love me some Sam Darnold. Great pick, by the way.
Thank you.
Sammy D. All right. So number 8, this is where I have 2 people. So I had Kirk Cousins there. I have to throw him just because that game was crazy, and he looks 10 times better than he did at the start of the year. So
I can't read your sheet because I can't read your handwriting.
That's fine. Yeah, I flew through it.
I have a feeling that you are going to disrespect.
No, so I want
Darnold right now.
What?
You're going to disrespect Darnold right now.
Maybe you could flip and flop him, but I like this. I like what I saw from Kirk, and I like to see what he's going to continue to do.
Okay.
I think the Vikings are.
Who is number 8?
Number 8 is Kirk Cousins, and I also have Josh Allen. We're putting them both at 8. I'm sorry, it's happening.
What the fuck is this?
Hey, you put the Commanders at 6, and you call them top 5.
Well, no,
I get to do this.
I put him at yeah.
So I get to do some dumb shit like this right
that's
now.
Fine.
Is that okay? Fine. We're doing it.
Yeah, but
I'm letting everyone know.
But there should be Dak should be bumped out then, because now it's just your top 11.
Pretty much.
Okay, I'll allow it.
Okay, so I have to, bro. But I know Josh Allen is still him, but it's been 2 ugly weeks.
Okay.
He did get hurt, and the fact that he was in the game, shame on the NFL for that. He was 100% concussed. But that game by Kirk that I saw, that how can I not do it? You know what I mean? Flacco had a good game too. Kirk was brought in here for a reason. There's pressure on that guy, bro. And let's be real here. That's now 2-0 in primetime games this year. He is the primetime game loser for pretty much his whole career. The fact that he's coming in and he's winning, and the offense looks different, and they actually have a chance to win now. 42 for 58, 509 yards, 4 touchdowns. Again, I just talked about this. Drake London and Pitts. Kyle Pitts was taken 4th overall, was a blocking tight end. Falcons fans, fantasy guys, were losing their fucking shit. I got to throw him there, man. I just love where they're going. I think he's only going to actually jump up in my rankings. It's just he needs to be protected, and he needs to hit his throws, which is obviously easy for him. Josh Allen, again, the first 3 weeks, he's been great. I just think he's too good of a player to just have outside. Listen, Mahomes right now isn't even doing that well, but he's on this list. He's at number 6 for me. So, sorry, skipped over. But
wow,
it's all right. I got 7. We'll talk about him too. He's still at number 7. But Mahomes is the same. But Josh Allen needs to be on this list because he's going to have a phenomenal week probably against the Jets, and he's going to jump right back up. I'd rather save all he's out of your top 10. Oh, I told you he's back. Put him there. Keep him there. Kyler Murray, number 7. Poor man's Jaden Daniels. I don't care. Big win against San Fran. San Fran, we didn't talk about them at all, but what the fuck's going on there? Something's off.
It's the same as last week.
Something's off.
There's no Christian McCaffrey. That's what's rough.
We'll just keep riding with that, I guess. But he's just impossible to tackle, bro. Like his numbers might not be crazy, but he's doing what he has to do. He's getting your first downs. He's finding guys on 3rd down to get that first down. He's impossible to tackle, bro. I just think he's looked better. I think the last couple years have been rough for him, but now he's finally having a good receiving, like a decent receiving core. Marvin Harrison, obviously elite, but he's just doing what he has to do. Again, that's another guy I think that's only going to flourish a little bit more throughout the year. And he's fast, man. You can't catch up to him. He's fast as shit.
Did you see him?
Yeah.
Do this at the line of scrimmage.
He literally just put his hand up for like 40 yards and was just out. Like you can't tackle him, bro. Like it's so hard. See, he's one of the hardest quarterbacks to contain in the pocket. And once he's out, it's backyard football for him. Like it's just he has fun with that shit. So as long as COD double XP weekend isn't on game day, then he should be fine. Good for him.
Keep going. I'll look that up.
Number 6, Patrick Mahomes. Listen, 5-0. He honestly could be lower. He's another guy I just have to put on this list. He's Patrick Mahomes. He's got limited weapons right now. That offense it's so interesting to watch, dude. I've never seen anything like it. Just the shovel passes to tight ends. I don't know if you saw another hook and ladder yesterday, by the way.
Yeah.
It wasn't really a hook, but it was kind of just a lateral back that Kelsey threw. He finally was getting Kelsey involved. He's just a field general. He just knows what he's doing. It's Patrick Mahomes, potential GOAT for all time, the greatest of all time. I'll never have him out of my top 10 unless he's injured. Patrick Mahomes, they're 5-0. Big win against the Saints, who needed to win at home.
October 25th.
Is double XP weekend?
That is when Black Ops 6 arrives.
Okay, I will make...
That's the same thing.
Is that a Saturday?
That is...
Because if it's a Sunday, then it doesn't matter. Mahomes
It's
won't...
a Friday.
Oh, yeah. We're going to fade the Cardinals that weekend.
Yeah. Here, I'll figure out who they're playing.
That's going to be my lock. That will be my lock. So just...
Dolphins.
Okay, I'll remember that.
Tua will be back. Too.
All right.
And it's in Miami.
Beautiful. Miami it is. Number 5, I got to put CJ Stroud there. I have to put him there. Big win against the Bills. Nico Collins goes down. That's been probably one of the best duos in the league so far. You can even throw top 5. Him and Nico Collins at 5, him and Stephon Diggs. Accurate, field general, reading coverages, has the weapons. He's the type of guy who has the weapons and is doing what he needs to do. There are some guys that have the weapons, ain't doing shit. He's got the weapons, and he's winning games. They're going to win the division. Again, looked a little sloppy, but he throws a beautiful ball. He's a leader. He's only going to get better throughout the year. So I would like to see more of a running game, but listen, even with no running game, he's doing what he has to do. Again, it's not all about the numbers here. It's watching the game and knowing that the running game is abysmal, but he's making the throws to just keep the drives alive. So CJ Stroud at 5, they're 4-1. He's a beast. Number 4, and is going to stay at 4 until further notice, Baker Mayfield. Everything we just said, bro. Second highest passer rating at 112.2. Minimum 2 starts. Second most touchdown passes through 5 games. He's got 11. Baker looks great. Again, that bad loss or tough loss to the Atlanta Falcons should have been a win. Him and Mike Evans, probably one of the better duos that is around the league. I just think he's gotten so good over the last couple of years. Another Sam Darnold little storyline there. He's found his home. He's going to be there for a long time. So Baker at 4. This is the one that I'm going to get a lot of shit on. I know this. Joe Burrow at 3.
We said it. We said
I'm at 5
He was the
last
best
time.
Football player on that field, and that was a field that had Lamar, Derrick Henry, Jamar Chase. He was the best football player. He was the best player in that game. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. For the last 2 weeks, he's been like that. And
I understand they're 1-4 right now, but you got to think about all the shit that's been going on with that team since the offseason and preseason and stuff. So two of the last 3 games, he has thrown for at least 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. So his stats for that game against the Ravens: 30 for 39, 392 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, 1 bad pick. Goodwill Hunting. It's not your fault.
Goodwill Hunting.
It's not your fault. Don't fuck with me. It's not your fault. I wish I can go up to Burrow and say it's not your fault. Because it's not. It's not his fault at all. It's the defense. The defense sucks. Jamar Chase is finally happy again. Did he even get paid?
Who?
Jamar Chase. Did he get the bag?
No.
He didn't get the bag. Okay,
no.
Perfect. Okay, well now he's going to.
He's playing for free.
Rent free. So is Russell Wilson. But, Joe Burrow, listen, record aside, again, you got to keep him there. He was the best player on that field. He looks like old Joe Burrow that we know and we've seen in the Super Bowl. He looks phenomenal. He looks great. So he's at 3. Number 2, my fucking guy. I'm kidding. Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels. I'm sold. I'm sold. I'm sold. You know what? Listen, this is what's funny about NFL drafts. When you have the first overall pick, do you just take the second player on your board? Because look at Stroud, Bryce Young. Potentially a bust. I don't think so yet, but potentially a bust. Needs to get out of Carolina. Caleb Williams is doing him, though. He's not a bust. But Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, that kind of just ruined your whole.
It did. But Jaden Daniels has looked better. His numbers are better. Everything's better. Their record is better. It doesn't matter, bro, because everything is better. He's so much better.
I love that take only because he went.
I went from Bryce Young to Caleb Williams, who's over 500.
Different drafts, and you skipped Caleb Williams.
It was a bullshit, bro. Because Zach Wilson at 2, he's not even starting. And Trevor's. I was hoping I'd get people sucked in there. Fuck you, bro. I was really hoping it would work. But Jaden Daniels, 6 yards per carry. By the way, that's a stat that is going unnoticed. 6 yards per carry. Oh, he's a running back. Whatever. 4-1, highest scoring team in the league, 31 points per game. First player to pass 1,000 yards and rush for at least 250 yards in first 5 career games. I'm sold. Might be the best quarterback in the NFC right now and might finish as the best quarterback in the NFC. Who knows? But I can't. He jumped way up. He's way up there, and I hope he maintains his place in the top 10. I don't want to see him gone. I want to just Jaden Daniels. Of course, I got to put him here. Let's move on. Number 1, Lamar Jackson.
Yep, of course.
For all the haters that were saying Lamar ain't him, blah, 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 Lamar sucks, blah, 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 lost 26-20 to the Chiefs because Isaiah Likely's got a 14-size foot shoe. Fuck you guys. 9-1 touchdown interception ratio. Comeback win against Cincinnati. Tough team to beat. Winless.
It's fair.
They're phenomenal. I think Lamar, this is the year he's got to really go far, bro. This is it. Because then he's going to be in the Dak conversation. You know what I mean? And he pretty much already is, but people just hate Dak Prescott more. You know this. Let's not get down the rabbit hole. But Lamar Jackson is the best quarterback in the league right now. The Ravens are the best team in the league right now. It will change. It could change. But I've just seen this story way too many times. I've seen this so many times. Lamar Jackson is just a stud. He's a stud. So that's my top 10. Let me go through it again. 10, Dak. 9, Darnold. 8, Josh Allen and Kirk Cousins. / Kyler Murray at 7. Pat Mahomes at 6. C.J. Stroud at 5. Baker Mayfield at 4. Joe Burrow 3. Jaden Daniels 2. And Mr. Lamar Jackson at number 1. My top 10.
I like it.
I think it's a much better list than my first one because I had Derek Carr in there. But again, had to put him there. Had to put him there.
Yeah, so Carr dropped out. You had 2 not ranked players come in.
Yeah.
The furthest drop was Josh Allen.
Josh
from
Allen.
1
Yep.
to 8. Highest jump was Lamar. He jumped up 6 spots to number 1.
Yeah. But again, that's
2
over
guys
3
that I
weeks.
think you might have a little bit of backlash with are Geno and Goff. I think Goff,
they were close.
Goff you can
They
get
were
away
close.
with
Yes.
because he's like in the middle pack.
Geno too, but
Geno is currently leading the league in yards.
But he also has 1 touchdown per game.
Yes, and
he's no tutties.
And he just lost to the Giants.
And he just lost to the Giants, which is why I couldn't put him in. But Goff was very close. Goff was another one I could put him at 10, but I haven't seen the prime Goff that we've seen last year until last week. So Dak, I've seen him flourish the last 3 weeks, so I think he deserves a spot.
Yeah. One other thing. What did you make of, talking about quarterbacks, what did you make of Bo Nix following their 34-18 win over the Raiders? Shout out to the Broncos. What did you make of his little spat with Sean Payton?
Like it. Listen,
I liked
you
it.
want that, bro. It just shows that he wants to win, bro. Like, I would rather have that than Jalen Hurts sitting on the sideline not talking to anybody. I want to see them going back and forth. I want to see that.
I thought it was weird. Like Sean Payton.
That's what you want to see, bro.
In his presser, I just thought Sean Payton was weird. Like the way he approached it after the game. It may just seem like he's trying to change Bo Nix to be like his other quarterbacks because he sees a little bit of them in him. But like Bo Nix, he's not them. Like, and I liked that he stepped up and was like, nah, like this is what I believe. If we're talking football, this is what we should be doing. This is what I'm good at.
Me too.
I'm sure that's what some of the conversation stemmed from. But like,
I don't think it's anything to like worry about.
I don't think it's anything. I think it's a good thing, if anything.
But like,
it shows that's the fire you need there in Denver.
100%.
They haven't had that for a little bit.
And it'd be different if Sean Payton wasn't the head coach and it was a guy like Nathaniel Hackett or some bullshit guy. Then it's a different story.
Nathaniel
but Sean
Hackett
Payton,
cried.
Sean Payton, we gotta remember he he was Drew Brees' right-hand man, bro,
Yeah.
and won a Super Bowl. Like, let them argue. He's learning. He's a rookie. They're going to have altercations. They won the game 34-17. So watch out for that team, bro, honestly, because that defense is very good. And Bo Nix, again, it just takes a couple of weeks for these guys to really get going. They don't have the weapons, but they're making do of what this team already is. So watch out for that team.
All right, last thing here, then we're going to get on out of here.
Top 10? Your top 10?
Top 10.
Let's do
Caused a stir last week.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sure. The people did not like my sarcasm of the Commanders being in the top 5 when they were number 6.
What goes through this guy's mind?
Like, just going back to my Washington Commanders conversation we had earlier, like, that was incredible because everyone lost their shit. We had Steelers fans losing their shit. I mean, Steelers fans, we can't possibly still stand on those takes, Logan. Washington, I mean, he doesn't listen to the show anyways. He's a fake fan. Washington, I only did that to you guys because you were all on your high horse and there was nothing proven yet. Like, now you're 4-1. I'll give you your, maybe I was correct. Maybe you were top 5 last week. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
I'm excited to hear this list, bro.
Okay. Do you want me to start from 10 again?
So do you have the prior list as well?
I could pull it up.
Okay.
Sure.
No, well, you're probably going to write it down. So I want to see it after, and I will give my thoughts. So just go into it. Go into it. Right. The floor is yours.
This list is way more accurate than last week. Last week, I feel like I trolled a little bit too much. I trolled a little bit too much. I shouldn't have done that. That was mean of me. This week, top 10, starting from 10. People are going to hate this. Steelers fans are going to hate this, but I really don't care. I don't care that their defense sucks. I'm putting the Bengals right there at number 10. Bengals are right there at number 10. You know what? That offense.
You start off crazy.
This was a really good game, but they lost to the second best team in the NFL, and that is a little preview of what's to come.
Foreshadowing.
Cowboys come in at number 9, doing what they need to do. They're just better than the rest of the teams. Packers, Falcons, I think same boat. A little bit bad.
Wait a minute.
Way good.
Are they 7? Are they 8/ Packers / 8?
No, I didn't do that this week.
Oh, okay. So you have the Packers at 8.
Packers at 8, Falcons at 7.
Okay.
Kirk Cousins gave them the jump over top of the Packers. I thought the Packers looked good against the Rams. They tried to lose, but they didn't. That's a sign of a good team right there. The Texans are going to come in at number 6. I had them higher, but Nico Collins had them fall down a little bit. I think when he's not on the field, it weakens them. So I'm going to have them at 6. I'm going to go Lions. They won the bye week, 3-1. Commanders, welcome to the top 4, buddies. Welcome to the top 4. You guys made it. For real now. But I do think this magical
for real.
this magical run you guys are on, I mean, just be prepared. Thanksgiving dinner is going to suck for you guys. Chiefs come in at 3. Welcome to the top 10, Chiefs. About time you guys made it. Talking about a 3-peat. You couldn't even make the top 10 last week. Ravens at number 2. Since their 0-2 start, I do believe they've been the best team in football on paper. On the field, I would say it's a different story when you're talking about the Vikings at 5-0. 5-0 against the spread. I mean,
it's fair. I mean,
they got the coach of the year at DC. That doesn't happen very often. And Sam Darnold is cooking. JJ cooking. The run game cooking. The defense cooking. The kicker cooking. The holder cooking. Bengals, you couldn't do that. Yeah, that's my top 10. Vikings, Ravens, Chiefs, Commies, Lions are the top 5. Cowboys and Bengals sneaking at the back end. And let me tell you, this is going to piss even more people off right here, Mike. Well, actually, give me your thoughts on the top 10.
The starting off at 10 with the Bengals is so fucking bold. That is so bold, bro. They're 1-4. They're a top 10 team. Well, I've never seen this. Can I
clarify
a rarity.
Something? Can I clarify something?
Go ahead.
So,
wait. Let me ask you something. What is this ranking based off of? Is this after 5 weeks?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I don't know if this was like for the future or anything.
Oh, no.
After 5 weeks.
This is strictly right now.
Okay.
Strictly right now. And by the eye test.
Packers in 8 is interesting.
So
I don't think I'd put them there yet.
I watched their game the last couple of weeks, and I think when Jordan Love is on the field, it just brings a different dynamic. And you have to keep in mind, Mike, 10 teams is a lot of teams in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like, after 4 or 5, it becomes very compact. Like the weaknesses and strengths start to balance out.
For sure.
So you're really nitpicking. And I think the Packers are just better than these other teams at the moment. I think like if they faced off this week, I would have to go Packers. So, obviously not against the Falcons, Texans, Lions, Commies, Chiefs, Ravens, Vikings.
So I will mention there are a couple teams that are not in the top 10. So
we're gonna get to it. Would you like me to get to it? Okay,
go ahead,
the first 4 out: Saints, Bills, Bucs, Seahawks. Now the Bengals were going to be in the first 4 out had the Saints won. I want to make that clear. So the Bengals snuck in there last night.
The Saints are fucking garbage. They always were.
So
they don't deserve to sniff the top 20.
That's fair, and I agree with you because it is bullshit that ever since they played the Cowboys, they've been one of the worst teams in the NFL. Their offense can't even sniff the end zone.
They were who we thought they were.
What was that?
That was the thing here.
Oh, all right.
I thought I just broke it by accident. That was close.
Honestly, I think they should give the win back to the Cowboys. We should be 4-1.
You're fucking 4-1. They should just give the win back to the Cowboys.
Yeah, like that, retroactively.
You're hilarious, bro.
Just like yellow cards can be taken away, that win should be taken away because they are clearly a 1-4 team, staying at 2-3. That's the only reason they're in the first 4 out. But now, so
should we give the Patriots a win back too?
Seahawks. No, not yet. If you guys lose this week, yeah.
Oh man, you're hilarious.
But the Patriots have been bad too, so it's different. All right, the next 4 out: Cardinals, Steelers, welcome to the party. Eagles, welcome to the party. So we get Pennsylvania in there, and the 49ers.
Yeah, now, the Niners too, bro.
Now here's the thing. Here's the thing about this: if Christian McCaffrey plays right and they win the first game, it's going to be hard for me not to put them in the top 2.
I was going to say, are they going to go back to the top 5?
Yeah, it's going to be a real top 5, Mike. I'm talking like top 2 or 3.
Oh, yeah, so they're back.
Yeah. So right now they're in not the first 4 out, but the next 4 out. Now, the last 4 out, the Broncos, Bears, Rams, and Jags. Jags, they're in London, so they're probably going to win. I have them as strong contenders to jump up after this week to the first 4 out. Just on the fringes of the top 10. Now, the rest of that group, I think they're going to struggle to get out of the last 4 out. I think they're kind of stuck there for a few weeks. Moving on, though, the final 4 out. Giants, Colts, Jets, and Jags. Now, if the Jets come out and look really, really good, strong contenders to jump everybody to like top 8. Strong contenders.
I don't blame you, bro.
Because I'll start believing again. The Chargers are bottom. Giants are lucky that they're over the Colts. The only reason they're over the Colts is because I messed up and I just didn't feel like adding a row, so the Colts went below them. So no hard feelings there, Colts fans. You just know that you were the first team in the final 4 out. And then that leaves the rest of the group. That's all I have it called, the rest of the group, because they're kind of going to be stuck there. I have a feeling I'm just going to be adding teams to that.
I like the way you're going about this.
Come out, though. Thank you.
So this would be good for Instagram, by the way. Like I know I'm envisioning what you're going to be posting. I like the way you're doing it.
Yeah. The only team that's in the rest of the group category is the Dolphins. They're the only ones I think that have a chance of making it out. Like the rest of them.
So you have like you essentially have a top 32, but you split it amongst top 10, and then you have the bottom 5 out, and then you go from there. I like that a lot, bro.
And it's nice because
we should roll with that. I like that.
It's nice because I have the next 4 out, the last 4 on the final 4 out. So like people, they're going to get confused and they're going to think they're just on the outside of the top 10 at like 0-4. So it's going to be fantastic. They're going to be so happy. The only ones that won't be happy: Patriots, Panthers, Titans, Raiders, Browns.
They're done.
Respectfully, don't expect to see your logo on any graphic in this category. But yeah.
It's great to see, though. Fuck the Patriots.
Vikings are number 1. The Bengals are number 10.
I would say there are probably 4 teams. I think the next time you do this, which we're doing this every week now, correct?
Yep.
These are 4 teams that I think could jump back into the top 10 or just jump into the top 10 that were non-ranked before.
Okay.
I have the Bills again. I think the Bills can get back in there. I have the Tampa Bay Bucs, the Birds, and the Chicago Bears.
Now the Birds, so the Bears actually, I almost had them in the first 4 out, and they ended up being 2 categories below.
They could make the jump. One of those teams will make the jump back in. That's my. I'll say 2 of those teams will make the jump back in.
I have a note here though. The Birds, I have It does not matter what they do next week. They will be in the next 4 out because they play the Browns.
Okay.
So, Birds fans, just don't expect.
Okay, never mind.
Up.
So one
Don't
of these
expect
teams
up.
will be in. So I'm gonna scratch
Like,
that.
in 2
done.
weeks, though. In 2 weeks, though, they can move up. But next week, definitely not because the notes matter.
And the Steelers, are they going to sniff back into that top 10, or is it going to be?
You know what? I'll make a deal with Steelers fans right now. I will make you guys number 10 next week instead of the Bengals if you guys can score more than 22 points.
I like that.
If you score 23 points.
Could we go 21.5?
No.
22?
I'm at 22.
22.
22.5. You have to
22.5.
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to
You
say, well,
gotta score
21.5 and 22 is the same. But okay, I like it. 22.5.
Yeah, because that means you scored 4 times.
That,
you had 4 drives that you scored on.
again, bro, like I look at this list and I love your top 5. I think your top 5, and that's the easy shit, is your top 5. Vikings at 1, you can't knock them. I like the Ravens. I think the Chiefs at 3, you just have to put them there. Commies at 4 is great.
The Chiefs easily could have been at like number 1 or 2, but I still
We see more from the other teams.
My point system docked them points because of the refs. They're going to struggle with that all season in my point system.
The Packers was interesting. The Cowboys was okay, understandable. The Bengals is huge though. That's going to stir up so much controversy.
Yes, yeah, I get that. The Bengals one. I'm strictly only looking at the fact that Jamar Chase smiled at this game. But the Packers and the Cowboys, all right, make an argument for the Saints, Bills, Bucs, Seahawks, Cardinals, Steelers, Eagles, 49ers. Like, they're all the same team, kind of. They all have flaws. They all have strengths. Like, that one, I kind of just... The Packers won this week. Those other teams didn't look convincing, or they didn't win, or didn't play. Eagles, fake.
I would just have the Bucs in there. That I would have to throw the Bucs. What I've seen from them, like that they again should have won the game. For me, I think they're a top 10 team, but the rest of the list, I don't mind it. Really.
Yeah, I know we gotta get out. Speaking of the Bucs, dude, did you see this hurricane?
Yeah,
bro, this looks insane. Insane.
Yeah, it's not good, bro.
Not good. Not good. Not good. And they play the Saints.
Yeah, it's gonna be something, man.
Yeah,
that sucks, man. You hate to see it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right, let's get out of here.
See ya.
Peace. All right, we're back. We had to come back in. We ended the show, but we're back. Mike, breaking news. Breaking news. Robert Saleh fired as Jets head coach. Thoughts? Break it down. Go ahead. You have the floor. A couple minutes. Go ahead.
Resort to what we just said in the last episode. Again, we just recorded what I said. Again, you need to bring in an offensive guy, or you got to call Bill Belichick. Your only options. You're not putting Nathaniel Hackett as a head coach. I love Saleh. I think he's a leader of men. I think he's a great guy, great personality. I just don't think he has what it takes to be a head coach. We've seen this before. There are a lot of head coaches in this league or a lot of coordinators that can't be head coaches. Look at Hackett. He can't be a head coach. He can be a coordinator. Not even. Actually, terrible example. But Todd Bowles is another guy. I think he's a better DC than he is head coach. Saleh is one of those guys. I think he's kind of losing it. He's kind of losing the locker room. He doesn't have the answers anymore. And I think they just had to rip the Band-Aid off and just let him go. I hope Hackett goes next. But you got to get an offensive coach, man. I think this pertains to Rodgers as well. I feel like Rodgers and him really aren't fucking getting along. None of that shit. It really had to happen. I didn't think it'd be this early. I think it'd be later on in the year, but they made the move. It had to be done. It had to be. We knew he was gone. Might as well get him out there now. Who's going to come in? Who's going to be the interim head coach? Probably Ulbrich, but who's going to come in? No clue. But they need to find an offensive guy. I don't know who it's going to be. They have to find him. I wish Saleh the best. Very bad record with the Jets. Very, very bad record. He had his moments, but just could not finish it. And just a tough stretch for him, man. That's a tough job to take, bro. The Jets, taking care of the Jets is not easy. So thank you. We wish you the best, but it was time to go. It was.
Yeah. No, it was brutal. It was brutal the last couple of weeks.
It was.
Honestly, every week this season, besides week 2, it was brutal.
Another thing, too, that I didn't mention, the delay of games that the Jets have is fucking incredible how many delay of game penalties we have. That's on coaching. That's on Saleh. So I think he was golfing a little bit too much, too. He's a big golfer. So He had to go. Again, let's go get an offensive guy. I'm tired of these defensive coaches because the defense ain't it. It's not the problem. It's the offense. Go get a guy that's going to clean this shit up. That's all I got to say.
All right. You ready to go? Is that all?
Yeah.
You feel okay?
Yeah.
You're going to be okay?
I'll be all right. That's fine. It had to happen. We talked about this. It had to happen.
All right.
See
Now
ya.
we're out. See ya.